This monstrosity behind me right now is my brother's current gaming PC, and let me tell you now, it's probably one of the worst looking PC builds I've ever done. If you're a channel regular, you would probably know this isn't the standard recording setup of mine, but that is because today I'm getting very hands-on and I'm going to give this PC here a little bit of an upgrade because I think my brother deserves it because, yeah, this PC build isn't particularly brilliant. So for the upgrade today, there's quite a few parts to get through, and the first thing we're starting off with is an upgrade to the RX 580 Sapphire Nitro Plus 8GB. It currently has a Sapphire Pulse 4GB RX 580, so this will give a bit of an upgrade for it, but I mainly did this out of aesthetics purposes, as I think this one looks a bit better. Also shout out Reaper Cable, they sent out some of their extension kits, which comes in this electric blue and carbon, which I think is going to look very great with the system we've got today. And probably the biggest upgrade is this. This is the Xeon setup, which I used in a previous video, and I found out it's actually a pretty decent performing CPU, and we've paired that with 16GB of RAM, and the last one on the end there is actually blue, so I think that's going to go well with our cable extensions, and it's really going to make this PC look very nice in my opinion. And lastly is the case. This is the Commando, I don't know the model. It's a pretty terrible case, to be honest, mainly to do with the front panel. I did go over this in a previous video, but my brother doesn't really use the front panel that much apart from turning on the PC, so this isn't going to be a problem for him. So all of the parts are taken out of his PC now, and out of these I'm only going to be reusing this power supply. Don't get me wrong, all of these still have a use, and I will definitely find a use for this RX 580 4GB, but I've also got this 500GB SSDs. It's already got Windows on it, and it's 500GB of flash storage compared to 256 before, because he wants to be running a hard drive in 2023, so I reckon that might be a good option for him. A trick I've learned, especially with PSU cables, is to plug them in before you actually put the motherboard in the case. This helps especially if you've got a big tower cooler like this, as the EPS pin is particularly hard to put in when the motherboard is already in the case. But we've got them in beforehand, so it's going to make it a lot easier, and they're already looking really good as well. And if we have a look as well, it's actually matching up with the RAM quite nicely. I wasn't expecting it to turn out this well, but I think this looks pretty good. I think the front of this PC is turning out very well. Like the blue with the RAMs matching up very nicely, and even the sort of the gunmetal carbon sort of colours matching with the backplate of the RX 580 pretty well. And then you've got the accents of black as well, which are matching in quite nicely. So I think this is probably one of the better looking PC builds I've ever done, which is a massive contrast from the original PC. And now it's on to the small matter of cable management, which is going to be pretty not easy in this case. But to be fair, we've got quite a bit of room behind the motherboard tray, so it shouldn't be too hard, but with the cable extensions it does make it a bit harder. But I don't think it's going to be an issue though, so let's crack on with it. So this is the final product. I really like how this PC ended up. I think it looks very nice indeed. Probably one of the better looking PC builds I've ever done, and if I'm honest, it might look a bit better than my personal build. Maybe, maybe not. I've got it booted into Windows with no issues, and Cinebench is running just fine, so there's no concerns right there. I haven't stress tested the GPU yet, but as we've seen from previous videos, this RX 580 is totally fine. Also with the Xeon as well, I think it's going to be a great pairing with the RX 580. As we've seen, it pairs quite well with the Vega 56 from the dedicated video I did on it. So I reckon this is going to be an excellent 1080p budget gaming machine. So I'm going to end off the video exactly where I started recording it, but this machine now is looking way better and it should be performing way better as well. The RX 580 8GB is a slightly better card than the 4GB version. It's got more memory bandwidth and of course it's got double the frame buffer as well. As for the Intel Xeon as well, it's a way better chip than the i7 2600, and that is because Haswell is a way stronger architecture than Sandy Bridge. Also, Haswell's got AVX2 instruction sets as well, which will help it out in some modern games. So I reckon my brother is going to be having a lot of fun gaming on this machine, and yeah, I think for a Roblox machine, this thing's pretty overkill, even though he does play games like Cities Skylines and Minecraft as well, so he'll definitely be getting more performance in them titles. And lastly, before I wrap up this video, I want to say a big thank you to Reaper Cable for hooking me up with the cable extensions used today. I really think they had a lot of flair to this build, and it makes a build that's even as old as this look absolutely incredible. So if you want to check them out, they will be linked down below in the description. So if you want some custom cables for your PC, make sure you check them out. So if you got this far into the video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around this long, and maybe even leaving a like if you like the video. And there's 2 other tech videos right up here which might be right up your alley. So with that being said, I'm going to leave this one here, and I'll catch you in the next one.